God save the glorious Queen. God save the Queen. God save the Queen. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me in another mod spotlight in Hearts of Iron 4. Well, now you may guess already due to the music, we are going to look onto a British mod, which is, well, about the British Empire. About the Commonwealth, well, no Commonwealth back then, about the British Empire and its colonies, and yeah, well, that's the Empire anyways. So, well, good news, I'm gonna replace my chair, so if you wanna support me anyways, feel free to get my Patreon, link is down below in the description, any help will be greatly appreciated. So, go through to check it out. Let's take a mod here, so we can only choose from the Gathering Stone scenario. Dark times are coming, blah blah blah. And if we go here, pick the United Kingdom. So that's changed here. So let's see first. Brief history. Okay, before we do this, actually, let's see what the mod has to say. So, well, it's called A Fallen Empire. According to the mod description, before I start talking about the mods, I would like to give a huge thanks to the creators of Kaiserreich for inspiring me to make this mod in the first place. And a huge thanks to Zanocast for allowing me to borrow the ideas and of the autarky part from the Irish Focus Tree and the Black Monday recovery part from the German Focus Tree. So big thanks to the creators of Kaiserreich and Zanocast. If you haven't, please check out Kaiserreich. It's an amazing mod. With that out of the way, here's the plot for the mod. The year is 1936. 18 years ago, the British Empire had successfully won the Great War alongside the Russians, French, Dominions and the Americans. However, the war was a costly victory for the former empire, to say the least. The war caused a large portion of a generation of men to die in the trenches in no man's land. In addition to that, the British economy was crushed under the weight of the amount of debt accumulated because of the war. The economy went on a sudden downturn, unemployment was high, people were unable to provide for their families, and the government was unable to do anything. Protests began because of this development, and eventually in 1926, those protests began to turn into riots. Eventually, the British Empire, as it was known, had just collapsed. Her colonies, land, and dominions either left or were seized by foreign powers. Now, 10 years later, Britain is in a rather precarious position. Faith in democracy is at an all-time low. Britain has much to fix, with little time to do so. What this mod adds: new focus tree for the United Kingdom, more national spirits for the United Kingdom, slightly added events, all dominions and puppets of the United Kingdom are free, new British faction, Canadian American faction, Australian Kiwi faction, and South African faction. So, back onto the game then. Britain is still led by Stanley Baldwin. It's democratic and has elections in 1939 by the Conservative Party. So, brief history. Although Britain had emerged victorious from the Great War, the price paid for the victory was massive. With a substantial portion of a generation dead, unrest began in its colonies and around the Commonwealth. In 1926, that unrest evolved into a full revolt. Suddenly, the former British Empire was no more. 10 years later, Britain is faced with a poor economy, an increasingly uneasy populace, and a lack of faith in democracy. Britain has much to fix, with little time to do so. So let's see how the map looks like. Well, in Europe, actually, we can see that the United Kingdom lost Northern Ireland to Ireland already, so that's a loss for the British there. We can see Canada got Newfoundland and Labrador, and look, Canada is independent, led by Mackenzie King by the Liberal Party. Then Mexico got British Belize, America got, I think, the British provinces here. Actually, France, they did get all of the British islands, so the French, of course. Venezuela got this British, I don't know, Guyana or whatever it's called. France also got British Nigeria and all of the British colonies here, so I didn't expect the French to betray the British. Liberia got Sierra Leone, but the French really betrayed the British, so that's not nice. Then we can see that the French also got all of Palestine, so alright. So, if this would have been the case today, we would all speak French instead of English, I would say, but I'm not sure. Then, the Kingdom of Egypt, yeah, released and free from the British Empire. Kenya has been released in 3, as well as Zimbabwe and Botswana, and yeah, so all of British Africa has been released. So South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Kingdom of Egypt. That's about the poor fate of British. And also Yemen got its former territories back, as well as Saudi Arabia annexed to this British province here. So they would have more oil today. And Iraq got Kuwait, so Saddam Hussein wouldn't have to go to war for Kuwait if that would have been the case. So then we have a completely independent India, completely free India, led by BP Sitaramaya. Then the Republic of Malaysia exists. Then an independent Australia as well as an independent New Zealand. So all of the British colony, all of the British imperial possessions are gone at once. Let's take a look first to Britain and see what Britain has to offer us focus tree wise. Poor Britain. Poor Britain. The UK is no more. So Britain starts off with, well, only 52 factories, so way less than it had. It starts off with a population of 43 million, and you can only use 2 factories to build stuff, only 2, so the British economy is at an all-time low. It's led by the Conservative Party, but the fascists and the communists have a, well, high share, to say the least, in the government as well. 27% for the fascists and 25% for the communists. The British have the British Stoicism, vote to end all wars. Then they also have the Great Depression, which is horrible for them. Then they destroyed the government, which is even more worse, which only the French had. And then they also have King George V. So, well, the focus isn't that big. Let's see. On the left path, you would have to go to reform the British economy. Then government progress, then you would modify the Great Depression with that. Consumer factory expansion phase 1, then military factory expansion phase 1, and phase 2 of both, phase 3, and then phase 4, and finally, well, this focus has no effect. That's weird. I think this focus should remove the Great Depression. That's weird. Anyways, infrastructure, part 1, part 2. You could get the extra research slot here. You could go for submarine research. You could go for doctrine research. Then for aviation research. For fighter research. For equipment research. For destroyer research. For naval tactics. For motorized research. For bomber research. And then, last but not least, for the lessons of the Great War to remove the spirit, the war to end all wars. But I really think you're actually not able to remove the Great Depression because this economic recovery lacks it. Perhaps you will, it may change, so it says this focus has currently no effect. Changes in the world situation may affect this, so it may affect it, I'm not sure. Although it should say it. And then you can choose for the path of the British politics. So then you could support Dutch Leninists. You could, well, get loyalty to the state, exile the royal family, it has no effect sadly, and also the allies where you would join the Comintern. You could either go support Chamberlain's Conservatives, restore faith in democracy, or serve alone, and autarky, or last but least, support mostly black shirts, or leader above all, mandatory military service, and then join our German allies. So the path for Britain is for you to come, but the gameplay as Britain is far, well, harder to say the least, and with far less influence since you lost all of the empire. The Commonwealth is only existing, well, it's only you being in the Commonwealth. If we see its members, we can see only the Commonwealth. So rest in peace, British Empire, and Commonwealth, no Commonwealth for you. Let's take a look at the other factions. We have the North American Defense Alliance, which consists of the United States and Canada. So these two are allied to each other. US and Canada. Canada having 5 military and 14 civilian factories. Let's take a look at Canada closely. Canada, well, a core population of 10.5 million, 20 factories in total, although Canada doesn't have the Great Depression, so you could start right away to build factories. Yeah, right away to build factories. You could build it with 8, for example. Then the sad thing is though that that Canada has the generic focus tree, so I guess the mod developer didn't have Together for Victory, therefore yeah, the generic focus tree for Canada here. Sadly not the well, one from Together for Victory, although to be honest, Together for Victory was a joke. This was simply a mod released as a DLC. That's it. A mod released as a DLC. Like it had some features which the base game of Hearts of Iron 3 had, and even more. For example, land lease, or well, better focuses, or better events. Anyways, let's take a look to the South African Commonwealth. So let's take South Africa. I have no idea how it's written. I think it's SAF. Yeah, there we go. South Africa has well only 10 factories, 1 military, core population of 9.75 million, but it has at least the Bechuana land, which is a wasteland by the way, as well as Rhodesia as a core state. I mean as a dominion, as a colony. Yeah, they are both colonies of South Africa. South Africa should have annexed them, I think. Well, he can do it later, I would say. So same goes for the South African focus tree. South Africa has the generic focus tree. Then instead of tagging, let's go to spectator mode. Here, Bechuanaland is a colony, good luck playing as that, and same goes for Zimbabwe. Then we have an independent Kenya with 1 civilian factory and a core population of 12 million. And then we have the Kingdom of Egypt with 3 civilian factories only and a core population of 20.5 million. So the French got got most of the chunk. Actually, the French have 52, so have the British. So the French have 38 civilian, 6 military, and 8 naval, which they got, for example, Nigeria they got, or or Ghana, or Liberia. Well, they got Sierra Leone, so more than doubling their core population, increasing it to 2.5 million. Portugal got these colonies of Britain, so I should know that. I think it's Namibia and okay, that was Portuguese already. Well, that's the fate of Africa. In Europe, Ireland got Northern Ireland back, thus making Ireland stronger and increasing its core population to 4.2 million. Well, I'm sure the Irish would have been in favor of this scenario for the only reason that they were able to annex Northern Ireland. Saudi Arabia got Abu Dhabi, yeah, which only had 6 out back then. Yemen got Aden back, increasing its core population to 3.4 million. Then Iraq got Kuwait, increasing its population by 80,000. Actually, no oil in Kuwait. That's rather interesting. Then India is completely independent, so making it an interesting country to play. Yeah, with well a core population of 327.81 million. That's quite a bit, but only 18 factories, so India would have to well develop there for sure. And that's about India. Then we have well an independent Australia with 17 factories, so being stronger than India, but only with a core population of 6.5 million for Australia. And then they are in the ANZAC Pact, which means Australian and New Zealandian IK Pacts. Okay. Then we have New Zealand with with a core population of 1.4 million and 5 factories in total. So yeah, New Zealand goes there. And then an independent Republic of Malaysia with a core pop of 3.7 million and 1 civilian factory. British Hong Kong is actually acquired by China, so China got British Hong Kong back. They got it in 1997, but now they got it well close to 61 years earlier. Then that's the fate of the British Empire, collapse of the British Empire. So I wouldn't suggest you to play as the UK if you get this mod. It's mainly about playing other countries. So for the purpose of this spotlight, I'm gonna play, well, we could play as Australia, let's play as India. Let's play as India, since, well, it's a somewhat interesting country to play, because of its really high core population. Let's take over Indian politics. Take them over. Actually, let's start a complete new game as India. Who knows what the AI has done already. So if you want to get an independent India straight away, while playing well modified vanilla, then this mod is the right thing for you, but don't expect you to be able to play with the, well, to be honest, the Indian focus tree and some other focus trees would not even make sense, because they were designed for the country still being in the British Empire, but with them leaving the British Empire they wouldn't make any sense. So that is perhaps another reason why the mod developer decided to remove the national focus, the custom focus. I don't know. Let's see, on regular, and let's play, well, with or without. Let's play with historical, yeah. Play, I don't know, without. I'll just get C-Pawn probably, yeah, without them, yeah, on recruit for the purpose of this spotlight. We can't sadly strengthen our country set. Right, so let's get into the game as the Indian nation. Well, we are democratic, so we have to change that first. Let's, I mean, I want to improve my industry first as well. So let's do this, actually, industrial effort first. Yeah, we have volunteer only, although 4.8 million, so we'll have no problems as India in terms of, well, manpower. I'm playing, as always, with the advanced industry mods, so you know. My first aim will be to get more civilian factories in our well-developed provinces, like this, you, here, and here, and here. At least are well developed, therefore they're gonna get expanded first. Alright. 3, yeah, we have 2 military factories, isn't that superb? And we have 1. Well, we can build convoys at least, so there we go. Indian war machine. The Indian war machine is producing 1.19 convoys per month and 10.89 weapons per day. Well, that will surely be enough to arm the 327 million Indians who are eager to fight. Well, our army is currently 99,000 strong. Yeah, well, they kept the British district armies, how I can see. Yeah, so, yeah, as of the Indian country, at least there's some, well, British generals. So the British generals, they decided to serve for India, which is perhaps a nice thing to say the least. Yeah, British, well, it's even called British Indian Theatre, although Britain has, well, it doesn't really have any influence on us. So, oh, well, she is a really heavy industrial sector. I think I'm actually gonna go communist and get the Chinese on my side, the People's Republic of China. So we are gonna carve a communist path as India. But first our first goal will be to develop actually the Indian industry. So let's get construction efforts done as quick as possible. After that, P. Krishna Pillai is gonna lead India. Yeah, a communist India, not democratic one. Construction efforts. Well, it's weird that the loyalists to Britain still have 40% influence in India. Well, they may have stayed in politics, but they shouldn't be that high. Otherwise, let's get... Oh, we cannot actually... Oh, what? Right, all India forward proc is not a valid focus. Also, you are not able to actually turn communist or fascist as India. That's sad, because it hasn't, well, the focus, you could only pick those, I think, if you had Together for Victory. Since you don't have Together for Victory, now you're not able to pick them. So, you know what's the best way is simply to do it like this. Well, so this one isn't really, well, designed to, well, play it on Iron Man. I mean, who plays Iron Man, to be honest? You cannot say whenever you like to, it's simply disgusting, to say the least. Okay, so... ruling, no, it was set, ruling party C. There we go, we became communists. Yeah, I'm gonna stay that way. Our country should be renamed soon, and the leader is P. Krishna Pillai. Yeah, construction effort 2, alright. Yeah, it's interesting, since they have only 5%, that's okay. Well, I could boost the communists in China, so the PRC actually gets the land, but since they'll be in the same faction, I really don't mind, to say the least. So yeah, internationalism, focus. By whom? Ah yeah, by China. Research swap available. Yeah, we forgot. Never forget the research, that's vitally important. Well, on what do you want to focus for? Well, clearly not taking out the Soviet Union since they are communist as well. We may even join, I think I'll join the Comintern. Yeah. Soviets, so they can prove a valuable really valuable ally. I think I'll go to war against Afghanistan, Tibet, Nepal, and all of them, but I will give them some time to, well, develop their country first through the focuses, and only after that I intend to strike against these nations. So let's act partial mobilization, and then industry, captain of industry, there we go. We're gonna heavily develop the Indian industry first before, well, getting anything out of the civilian industry of India first. SRD as always. Yeah, we really need more research for, so these two will be really helpful. But since I can get this one only if I have more than 50 factories, which will take some time, this can wait. But we're gonna go for effort 2 and all the extra research stuff there. India being communist, but still called India. Electronical, mechanical engineering. Yeah, get the engineering boosts first, I would say. Well, either Stalin secured stability in the Soviet Union, because we said that, because we are, well, a guest world commerce as well. Let's see, Britain is going for the expansion of the factories. Phase 2, so let's see how well Britain is gonna develop herself. Can France actually join the Allies? Like, go with Britain? Yeah, they could join the Commonwealth. Which they will do probably, but Britain won't, well... Winston Churchill can't praise the empire in his speech anymore, because there's no empire. There are no colonies which would be willing to help the British war effort. That's sad. And the Americans are most likely not gonna get involved in the war, because you know how the AI works. That's sad. Yeah, the Indian war machine is getting 19.2 infantry equipment per day. There you can see the complete imperial power of the Indian war machine. Truly a strong war machine, that's for sure. Let's see what's Australia up to. Well, armament efforts. New Zealand, same. Yeah, New Zealand is kind of, yeah, has more military factories than we do. Egypt, same armament effort. South Africa, aviation effort, fighter focus, doctrine effort, naval effort, and the Canadians, yeah, armament effort for the Canadians. Alright, the British. Well, let's see to which state of British politics the British are gonna go. Well, we can get popular figureheads. Political power gain plus 5% would be... Let's get this on workforce. And then him as well. It's 5%, but probably worth in the long term, so we're gonna get him as well. Therefore getting 1.9 well, political power per day. Well, the fascists won the war quite quick, that's for sure. Now the extra 2 factories here. Yeah. So let's see which regions are the best developed ones in our country. It's actually this one. There's only 1 slot. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? It's Burma as well, but Burma is close to the Japanese, so I don't want to build anything there. Close to Japan. Well, let's maximize out Delhi and this province with civilian factories. Yeah, there we go. Research software, never forget, like I did right now. Let's see how strong the Indian army can get. I wanna see what they achieved in their focus trees. I think we can see it when we have a higher level of decryption and encryption. Next thing, let's get Indian military stuff, like Indian theorists. Excuse me, Indian. And, well, France and Britain announced their alliance fairly quick, I would say. Then, they have time for the, well, political effort, I would say, the SRD. We got it. I wanna get to some ships. Yeah, let's get the C-class cruiser. So we actually, we're gonna keep, well, we keep the British ships and British airplanes, kind of, which is a nice thing. I think better than not to keep them. Renown class. I'm gonna build light cruisers and heavy cruisers first, and some destroyers. They're cheap to build. And they don't cost that much in terms of resources like other ships do, therefore they're gonna be our primary pick. Well, it's interesting to see though how the world station is gonna develop. Yeah, it's quite nice. And I'm gonna focus on mountaineers, since the terrain here is really mountainous, so I'm gonna get mountaineers first. A radio saying that, oh, Japan replaced government in China. Well, that's not really nice. That's horrible, to be honest. So that's why actually it fits for us. So we're gonna boost the body popularity of communists. yeah, PRC. Japan is, yeah. So we have to win the war against the Chinese. That's a bad thing because they are fascist and they are part of Japan, making the war even harder against the Chinese because there's simply so much mountainous terrain which we have go through. I'm gonna go for the armament effort now. 3 factories after all, nice to have always. Concern and then ship designer, let's say Pacific Atlantic Fleet. Yeah, alright, technology, let's get better ships here. Southampton class and GHI class destroyers for the Indian Navy. Well, we can lose so many men as we want, but so same can the Chinese. That's the problem. How can we beat China effectively without losing too many men? Especially in a mountainous terrain where the defender has always the edge in the battle. But that's hard to say, to be honest. Hard to say. Now let's go for the Ishapur Rifle Factory. Ishapur Rifle Factory. That too. I'm gonna get for now more of the military factories. We have one aluminum. You can get one for equipment as well. One for equipment. Well, we have 31 civilian factories. There we go. Indian development, well, is on its rise, to say the least. I'm gonna maximize out the province of Mandarai and of West Bengal as well. The Soviets did withdraw. Well, I'm gonna boost popularity of the communists in Japan as well. We wanna stage a world revolution as well as in Germany. In Germany, always want to open 5% there. And in Italy. Germany, in all of the major countries, we're gonna boost our ideology. In China we are already, so the PRC should get some vital lands. I'm gonna sign non-aggression pacts and I'm asked for military access. There we go. So they like us, the Soviets. Can I join the Comintern? No, I can't. Well, they would accept me, but it has to be 30%, which is not. Well, war economy. Now, there we go. Thriving Indian industry. I'm gonna build, I think, yeah, my goal is to get 100 civilian factories. That's easier said than done. Yeah. So, industry. Never forget the vital industry always. Well, let's go for war actually against the Nepali. Well, why are they not getting factories? I don't know. They should, like, they have a dire need of factories, but they're simply not getting them. Well, same with the Afghanis, they didn't get them. I think I may puppet them anyways. Yeah, I may puppet Nepal anyway, so let's go ahead. Just if I will go conquer Nepal, it will take some time. Yeah, it will take quite some time. But beating Nepal should be easier since we only have to capture Kathmandu. Pre-Christian Pillai angered by Nepali positioning. Yeah, we are angered by the Nepali positioning. Let's get some more naval slots and get more infantry equipment. Did we get Mountaineers? Yeah, Mountaineer division. Well, we have only 3, but we can add actually some more infantry. Let's add 3 more divisions. And then actually 4 more. We can't, then let's start to train the Mountaineers. And Japan declared war on Hunan. The bloodthirsty Japanese. They're training 100,000 men. Japan declared war on Shibei Zhangma, so now the Australians are actually involved actively in the war as well. Making it a great war to say the least. Shangji joined the Anzac Pact. The Anzac Pact is truly advancing. Yeah, Anzac Pact is truly advancing. China joined Comintern. Let's join the Comintern too. Oh yeah, you can't because the economy's popularity is so low in our country because we use the control to increase it. So let's go for the Torpedoes Ethos to increase it since we have a need of increasing it. Okay, let's get some Southampton class destroyer as well. 1.39 per year, that's a joke. In East Bengal, our primary base of the Indian Republic. East Bengal, let's get army focus of the mans and then as well as army focus. Well, yeah, we need quite a good amount of infantry equipment. Oh, the Comintern being actively in the war. All the communists, they should lose territory to the Chinese. Well, I want to go to the war as well. I want to get into the war, although our economy is not ready, to say the least. So I would say let's militarize straight away. Straight and quick and vast militarization. It's on the way of the Indian People's Republic. Yeah, the colonists, they are pushing quite well, and the CPC is always getting popularity. The Soviets, they can fully focus their focus. They can fully focus against the Japanese. I think I'm gonna justify against them as well to get a part of the cake. The Japanese are our main enemy. Only 60 days, that's nice. The Philippines joined the North American Defense Alliance. Well, that's nice. There we go. Our army of 11 troops, well, ready themselves up against the reorganized nationalist China. Maybe we can capture Chongqing. But they're still training the troops. I have to deploy them there, and I want to change them. Well, it's the Indian division. How is the Indian division? Perhaps bad. Yeah, it's quite bad. I want to change them to mountaineer divisions as well. So mountaineer divisions. There we go. Now they have to train heavily. Let's get army offense. Army morale is quite nice. Army offense is better without the division attack. And let's train these divisions. Well, we have around 200,000 troops ready to fight against the Chinese. Perhaps some more, because we're gonna modify our divisions here. Let's delete that mountaineer division. I mean, let's add you an engineer company. Yeah, an engineer company. Wait, lots of for equipment though. There we go. It's finished. Therefore, meaning heavier industrialization for the Indian war machine. West Bengal in this province as well as this one. They aren't my enemy, therefore they will stay alive. Then yeah, we need high popularity of communism, that's for sure. It's not really going high, it's well, going high but really slowly. And fascism is going high as well, which isn't a nice thing to say, the least. So time to get more. Well, we'd have to import aluminum then. That's sad, but otherwise let's go for it. Let's import aluminum from the Soviet Union. They have plenty. Yeah. All available until the 1st of December. Yeah. So let's ready. Our troops are ready for the imminent war against the Chinese. Yeah, ready themselves. Yeah, we're gonna declare war and the Pax Americana. Yeah. The communists, they are proceeding quite well. The popularity of the CPC is rising high. They should lose even more territories to the communists. Yeah, look, if communist support goes too high, the communists will take control of the state. That's a nice thing. Then, let's declare war. Oh, it's too late, it's too late. Well, I think I can still load the save game. Anyways, I'm gonna take a cut here, it's over my time. So, thank you all for watching me. Mod link is down below in the description. Go sure to check it out. And here we go. Yeah, go sure to check it out. Then, I hope you all have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.